haven't seen me all day. You miss me?
No.
You've been shopping all day, haven't you?
Have not.
Yeah, you
Sorry.
have. Which part? You haven't missed me? You haven't been shopping?
Yesterday.
Oh.
I was wore out from yesterday.
Okay. All right, here we go. What do you think about dual sire? So what we're talking about here is where you have a girl and you use 2 sires. What do I think about it? Well, I think that the first thing is, if you're doing a dual sire, you need to let everybody know in advance that's what you're doing. So I've had this sprung on me before, and I mean, you know, there are circumstances where it does make sense. You know, for instance, you can't get the semen in time, and so you want to do a breeding with a dog. It's not exactly the dog you want, but then you're going to do another breeding with the dog, but it shows up the next day. I mean, I'm okay with it, but it's certainly you should let the people know about it ahead of time, because some people are not going to be happy with this whatsoever at all. But what is the AKC's position on this? Absolutely fine. You have to do a parentage DNA test on both the males and all the puppies, so that you can confirm which puppy was sired from which side. You have to pay 2 registration fees, which is not expensive. You know, sometimes you're in a situation where you know absolutely categorically which male would produce which because of the DNA. Example would be a full fluffy and a non-fluffy dog. The dogs that don't have any fluffy gene came from the non-fluffy, and the dogs that carry a copy of fluffy came from a fluffy dog. In those situations, you may see that they all came from one dog, and you don't need dual parentage. But if you've got puppies that are obviously from both sides, the AKC is going to demand that you do dual. You have to do their DNA test, $40 a dog, it might be more now, and it's going to take you a while. It might take you 6-8 weeks to get the results. So that's kind of another kind of bit of a mess up, because your puppies may be ready to go to their new homes by then. But you can do it. But again, I think it's fair that you should absolutely let both the sires know. You know, if one person knows both sires, they're not going to care probably. But if you've got 2 different people, then may not be happy about this. So anyway, there you go. That's my thought on that. I've been in that situation a few times. It's been fine. I haven't had a little hissy fit over it. And I was told one time after the fact, and there was a reason for it, so, you know, I was understandable. Crypto nerd, is your Teachable that's paid as bad as your YouTube? Oh goodness, someone doesn't like my YouTube. In regards to, well, okay, in regards to questions, you should avoid reading useless comments. Well, the reason that I read the comments is when people take the time and effort to give a response, and it's a good response, I want to give them acknowledgement. And if it's not a good response, I want to explain why, because it's bad information. So I think there's some value in responding to this. I don't do a lot of that, but anyway, there we go. I mean, you know, that's the first time somebody's complained about that, so I'm probably going to keep on doing it. But look, I like comments, good or bad. They teach me what I need to do. Somebody looks forward to the Teachable idea, great. Jennifer Harris also does not like us, does not want to be anywhere near the show ring. Very political and very snobby. You got that. Trent M. Being how you constantly get nagged about Brindle, even though you have said repeatedly that you don't have a problem with Brindle. I was just like at the end of the video. Well, look, here's the deal. I'm just not going to respond to this Brindle thing anymore. It's getting me bored. You know, I'm just not going to respond to those comments. Somebody else suggests that I do that, you know, and I'm doing what is of no value to the majority of the people looking at these videos. I'm wasting time nagging on about this Brindle thing, and I've given my position clearly many, many times.
Oh Lord.
And I'm just, honestly, I'm just tired of it. It just, I don't want to, I'm not that I want to be rude, it's just I don't want to waste your time. All the other people who don't care about this, who already know what the stance is, so I'm not going to respond to the Brindle things anymore. If you want to breed Brindles, have at it, not a problem for me at all. Alright, so again, not wanting to get on a high horse and upset people, just don't want to waste people's time. I want this to be full of content. I want it to be full of things that are useful for you, and not things that you know, there's enough repetition as it is on this. Well, there's another one about Brindles. Jeff Morgan is supporting me. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, Damien says he loves the channel. Thank you, Damien. Melissa McAdams would love to speak to you about studs. Look, anytime you want to talk to us about studs.
There's a phone number on our website.
That's right, it's right at the very beginning. You call Cody, 806-664-0666. 0173, or me, 580-799-2873. Love to talk to you about this. Even if not using your studs, I think you'll find it very informative, and you'll get an idea about what you should be doing and why, and maybe which studs of ours may be good choices for you. Becky Janine, I was wondering if dogs would sync cycles. They do, don't they, Tammy?
Yes.
Humans do too.
Yeah.
Humans do too. It absolutely
Yeah.
happens. Absolutely happens. There's an evolutionary thing going on here, presumably. It's all to do with, in nature, when it's the right time to have offspring because it's springtime and the weather's better and the food supply's good, that all the mammals start ovulating at the same time. And so one brings a whole lot in because they all want to take advantage of the fact that it's the right time to do it. So there's an evolutionary reason for this, presumably. I'm always about, look, not everybody out there is going to believe in the evolutionary argument, but I'm a strong believer that there's science behind all this. And all the advice that I give, hopefully, is got a solid foundation in science. It is the fundamental truth, in my opinion, about all of this stuff. It's all about science. It's not, hearsay's good. It's not like you shouldn't try techniques other people have suggested because it's anecdotal evidence, but science, I'm right on the money with the science. Doberman Freak. I use kibble ground up. We're talking about what you're going to wean puppies with. I use kibble ground up into a powder, Gerber baby rice, pumpkin and goat's milk, mixed into a mousse. Wean hundreds of Dobermans with this recipe. I think it's a great recipe. I love it. I think it's. I can tell you something else about it. There's no added ingredients that you don't need, and it's all good solid ingredients. And if you're going to make the effort to do it, it's also inexpensive. What do you think about it, Tammy?
Yep.
Yep. Tammy gives it a thumbs up. Dream House Bulls. I recently just bought my first Frenchie. I'm hearing a couple of different things about her. One person telling me she carries Cream and Isabella. Another person saying Testable and Rojo. Well, let's have a look. So she gives us the DNA.
Testable and Rojo. Rojo's testable chocolate.
Yeah, right. So this is where it's
confusing.
This is where we, Tammy and I, like just the straight DNA because it then explains everything and there's no confusion about things like quad carriers and what's a quad carrier? It's 4 of something. What 4 things is it? Here we go. So here we go. This is what this dog is. It's ATA. So that's a dog that's a tan-pointed dog. If it doesn't have brindle, which it doesn't, by the way, then it will show tan points. Unless it's cream, in which case they'll be it. Right. Oops, went backwards. The B locus, big B, little b, that carries a copy of testable chocolate. So that is what we might call an Isabella carrier. Coco is little co, so that is a chocolate dog. Big D, little d, that carries a copy of blue. Big EM, little e, that carries a copy of cream. And then K locus is NN and S locus is NN. So here we go. So what is this dog? This dog is a chocolate that carries blue, testable chocolate and cream. It's a blue and tan. It's a chocolate and tan that carries cream, Isabella, or testable chocolate and blue. No brindle, no pie. What can that dog produce? Chocolate dogs all day long. And that's when I say chocolate, I mean cocoa dogs. It can produce blue dogs, it can produce lilac dogs, it can produce Isabellas, it can produce creams, it can produce platinums, it can
With
produce...
the correct other DNA.
Yeah, it can produce new shades. That and tan points. That is your rainbow dog right there. That's not a hugely expensive dog, but it can produce with the, like for instance, a dog of ours would be Goldfinger. Goldfinger has got 2 of all of those things we just mentioned, and only 1 copy of cream, 2 intensity.
2 copies of intensity also.
So that dog is little d, little b, little co, AT, little big E, little e, 2 copies of intensity, no brindle, no pie. That is the dog to use. If you're looking for our studs, that would be the dog to use because that produces a rainbow color. You've got something for everybody in that litter, and some of those dogs are going to be pretty expensive dogs. So that was a good question, and I hope that answered it for you. Last question here: can a cleft palate female have puppies? If the vet said the chances are only slim that she will have cleft palate puppies, only 1 in a litter. okay, well, let's just talk about cleft palates for a moment. The first thing is, you've got to get the dog to survive. So the first battle is dogs that have a cleft palate, which is an opening in the roof of their mouth, that have a very wide cleft palate, typically don't survive. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't try, but it means that you're probably going to have heartache over this. Dogs that have a hair lip that's not a cleft palate, those dogs are fine. It's just a cosmetic thing.
It's like humans.
Yep. So then the question is the cleft palate something that's hereditary or not? And will it be passed on to the puppies? And the answer to this is there's a possibility it's hereditary. And if that's a true statement, then it would have to be put with a dog that's also produced cleft palates, and then you'd expect 1/4 of the puppies to have cleft palates. So there is a possibility that this could produce cleft palate dogs. Now the chances are that you breed to a different unrelated stud that probably you don't get any cleft palates at all. So I think the chance that cleft palates are really fairly slim. And then the whole question here is it even a hereditary thing? It may just be, one of the things that we do, by the way, to try and avoid cleft palates is we give folic acid, 5 milligrams, from the moment we breed till they whelp, because these are things that can help with cleft palates. If that's a true statement, then there is some science behind this, then those aren't hereditary conditions. Those are lack of the correct ingredients. So there's problems with the actual development of puppies in the womb, and it's got nothing to do with hereditary. I would go ahead and do it. Other people are going to say not, and they're going
to. Sorry.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
So there you go. There's an example. So this is it.
I would not.
What's the safe answer? Don't do it. That's
right.
the safe answer.
That's the safe
That's
answer.
the safe answer.
I'm all about what if and the safe way.
That's the safe answer.
Yep.
You know, but I suspect that your chances of having problems are about 1 in 10. 1 in 10. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean,
when men think sometimes it's just like, no.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, but the right answer to this is there's no clear answer,
Yeah.
right? There's no clear answer.
No, my answer's safe.
Tammy's answer's safe. Me and
Yeah.
the vet say you think you'll be okay.
Uh-uh.
If you try it, let us know.
No.
We've got some studs that have
Use it for a pet.
Yeah, okay, well there you go. Hey, there's 12 minutes time taken up. Thanks for watching.
Call me about puppies. We got puppies. We got new litter coming up. We've got puppies to sell. Our loss is your gain. I promise you. Throw me a price.
Yeah.
Fluffy carriers and
All fluffies.
and testables. Yeah.
And testables.
Throw me an offer.
Yeah.
See ya. Bye.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.